We don't even have time to do introductions or anything because we already have to thank someone because they resubbed, and we have to get to the drink we've already prepared. It's been sitting here on the table. We've already made a cocktail. We are ready to go. Blau, it is good to see you. Ellie, thank you for the 24 months, the 2 years. Two whole fucking years. Hope the better version of the Merovingian twins are doing good on this fine Thursday. I'm hella drunk. I can tell. It also took us about 2 minutes to figure out what the name of that movie was. We literally could name every single person. We were talking about bits and pieces of the movie. I was like, oh my God. And finally, The Matrix.
Yeah, you got it.
Ellie, thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate you so much for the 2 whole years. That is absolutely fantastic. Blau, it is good to see you. Baker, it is good to see you too. I wonder how long that would take. I knew what it was, but I just could not remember the name of the movie, and I don't know why. Because at least the first one for sure is like one of my favorite movies. Like it's definitely up there in top 10, top 20 for sure all time. All right, we'll get back into conversation very quickly, but we need to actually start because we actually made a mixed drink to start the show, and we should taste it now while it's kind of is the way it is. I don't have much of a picture. But this is the best I come up with. I found a picture of what it kind of would look like if we put it in a fancy glass like that.
In the coupe glass.
In the coupe glass. It is a very, very good movie. We are starting off, exclamation point, beverage command in chat. That also should be functioning. Where is it? There it is. A Negroni sour cocktail. Apparently is Negroni week next week.
Negroni week is next Monday. Yes.
It's next Monday. Why is that?
It
just is.
It was actually something to do with Imbibe too, where they wanted to start a week of tribute to this particular beverage.
Oh,
Don't know exactly what it involves, but it involves homages to the Negroni, which is one of your favorite mixed drinks.
So it is not normally one of my favorite mixed drinks. No. The like I said, especially the Campari version that we had, the a third, the classic cocktail, not my favorite. We have made this Negroni sour with the Pronto Amaro,
yes,
which is still in that same vein, not quite as bitter. And then this one also adds some lemon juice. The recipe is the link right there. It's got some lemon juice in it, some simple syrup. It's got gin, a little bit more heavy on the gin, just slightly. It's not the exact proportion. The sweet vermouth is in there, all that stuff. Thank you for the love on the shirt. I love this shirt too, and that's why, since we were having a gin cocktail, I figured I'd do this exclamation point merch in chat if you guys, anybody is interested. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy Football Thursday again. Once again, having a cocktail on the NFL season.
That's how you celebrate.
That's how you do it. We did use the egg white as well. You've been watching Superstore? I've seen a couple episodes of that. That seemed like a pretty funny show.
It's really good, but I wouldn't know that that's what it is. Personally.
What do you mean?
I get a lot of lemon.
Yes.
I really get the citrus.
Mm-hmm. The sour part is nice.
And I guess
you mean
I get
freshly squeezed
bitter,
lemon juice. Once again, I'm the king of fresh ingredients.
Freshly squeezed lemon juice.
Over the top, freshly squeezed lemon juice. Okay.
But I don't really necessarily taste the gin. There's a little sort of bitter to the back, actually. Maybe that is...
Gee, I wonder what that's from.
Well, it could be the Amaro, but usually the Amaro isn't... Even when I have it just with water, I taste it and it's not like that, but that really comes through. It's
probably the gin though too. The
tasty.
Gin, like the juniper. I use Hendrix for my gin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Ellie, thank you very much. I try.
Wow.
Just all the compliments all of a sudden. Easy. Keep them coming. I like it. Like this is definitely my favorite of all of these Negroni so far, because it's got a little bit of the sweet, the lemon juice. I would almost maybe back the lemon juice back a touch.
Yeah. To let the
but the
cocktail.
gin, I definitely do get the gin. The gin, like I thought the Hendrix might actually kind of be muted in there a little bit because that's kind of one of the more like cucumber, a little more of those kind of flavors kind of come out a little bit more. It's not as much forward of the juniper spirit like the botanist that we have or some of the other ones or even the gray whale and stuff. But no, I like this, and I like the bitterness at the back is nice. Everything balances in there. It feels like it almost doesn't quite blend together, if that makes sense. Like I kind of get like each thing. I'm like lemon juice, sweet, gin, like Amaro. Like I kind of get like all those things like bam, bam, bam. Like nothing is like, oh, it's not the, like when we had the Amaretto whiskey sour last night, it was like we got the little waves of everything. Whereas this feels like, to me, on the first couple sips a little bit stilted. I don't know. Maybe it could be just me. This is my first cocktail of the day. It could be your third or fourth. So maybe you're a little bit more.
I had a couple, at my lunch hour. So,
just trying to inflate the ego for the podcast. Been out all night drinking vodka drinks. Oh my gosh, the vodka drinks. What was the vodka drink of choice this evening? Blau can vouch for Superstore. Did you ever watch Superstore? I swear maybe my wife watched that a little bit.
It was like
I've watched an episode or two. Like it wasn't that it was bad. Like just
wasn't it like kind of like a Best Buy type place or something like that?
Was it like that or was it like a Costco?
No, maybe it was that.
No, maybe it was like a Best Buy. I can't remember. Vodka orange at one bar, then I went to another bar. Oh my gosh. Walking around. I love these places where you can just walk from bar to bar and then just stumble home.
Wow.
That sounds like a nice way to do.
Yeah.
Had sex on the beach. Okay, but we were just talking drinks. If you want to talk about what you were doing as well.
It was a long walk to the beach, bro.
Yeah. Superstore is kind of like the office, but in a store.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, like in a superstore.
Not just a store.
Big store.
A superstore.
Big store of some sort. But yeah, we did use the egg white. I don't know if I'm getting it quite as much in this one.
No, because I know like the last time you had to put the bitters on there to kind of counteract that, and you didn't do that with this.
And I don't think that's necessary.
No.
Well, it seems like it's blending a little better. Well, actually, the more I taste it, like maybe it just was my first sip.
I'm just surprised at how much of the citrus I get, which I really like. And then it's just kind of like a lot of the bitter part at the back, which I also like because it's a good blend because I kind of just want to drink it really quick.
So you're saying missing a little something in the middle then maybe?
Yeah, because that's where I'd want to taste the gin, I guess, maybe.
Okay.
I guess the Amaro is that bitter part at the back.
Okay.
Where's the sweet vermouth? Are you getting that?
That's probably mixed into a little bit of the herbal like that is that. But yeah, you know what's funny? Until you actually said I forgot it was in there.
Okay.
So yeah.
You did put it in.
I did.
Okay, good.
I do remember putting it in.
Okay.
I do remember doing that. It's great. It's like my house is a 4-minute walk from bar A, and bar A is 1 minute up the road from bar B. Spent like 90 to 120 minutes at bar B, and then spent an hour drinking sex on the beach at bar A. That's perfect. It's nice when everything is all just nice within range there. Do you walk in like, because obviously you've probably been there like several times. Do you walk in and they like, is it like cheers? Do they know your name? Like they go and they're like, Ellie. And you're like, hey. And they're like, sex on the beach? And you're like, yeah, let's give me a drink too.
Yeah.
Sorry, that joke's got to come out twice. Just how it is. There it is. They do. Perfect. I love it. Yeah, I don't know if I get the sweet because when I make a Manhattan, the sweet vermouth is definitely a component.
So then, to me, then that does kind of all just kind of blend together. Except for me, like I said, the lemon does really stand out.
Lemon really comes out at the beginning,
but I like that.
I wonder how this would have been with the like actual sour mix that I had made instead of this. Like if you wanted like a little bit more of just a blended citrus kind of taste.
Yeah.
And then also, like we were talking, if you went for more of a citrus forward gin too, like maybe that would blend in a little better and take out some of the bitter. Not that I usually think of Hendrix as being super bitter, but there is 2 ounces of gin in there, which kind of like pushed that a little forward. Like because again, he did the proportions a little differently. He did 3/4 of an ounce. We doubled the recipe, but he did 3/4 of an ounce of the sweet vermouth, 3/4 of an ounce of the Amaro, and then an ounce of gin. So a little bit more gin, which I think when I've seen him even make his Negroni, he kind of goes that way a little bit too. When he's done like kind of the classic one. They know my drink of choice in both bars. That's awesome, Ellie. That's super, super cool.
So then a Negroni is usually a third.
Yep.
Gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari. This then adds simple syrup, right?
Yeah.
And lemon juice.
Yep. That's the sour part of it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of making the lemon drop sour cocktail.
I like it.
I do too. It's actually really good. Like that's definitely probably the way I would drink that one. I should go back and now that I do have all the ingredients, I should make a Negroni now, but with the Pronto Amaro.
Just see if you like it better.
See if like I still don't think I will. I don't think it's going to be my drink of just because it is just so forward on those things. And
we like the what was it the Manhattan,
the Boulevardier.
Well, that, but then also with the Amaro. What was it, Black Monday or whatever?
Oh,
that's
the Black
called?
Manhattan.
Black Manhattan was better, a more likable, more easily drinkable beverage. So
to be fair, in a homebrew tap, the dog friendly one, it's just vodka and orange juice. So like a screwdriver, isn't that vodka and orange juice? Isn't that what they call that?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's called a screwdriver. My parents said they were going out, and I decided I wanted a drink, so I went down to Homebrew Tap because the bartender is a little cute. And turns out my mom went there with Dave. Oh my gosh, you saw your parents there? That's got to be embarrassing. They walk in, they're like, Ellie, your mom's over there. Did you want to see next to? And you immediately like, I'm out of here.
Just add this to her tab, please.
Join them for like 5 drinks. Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, just add this to their tab. Even better. Even better. Yeah, I do. I like this. This is, like I said, this is pretty enjoyable. I definitely can. These ones that are beverages like this that are much more bitter on the back end, to me, it's like I always think of like, okay, what food would I want to put with it? Like for some, because I don't like just usually drink it like this one more so than the other one, but I don't usually like drinking them on their own. I want like I think of them more of like as a food thing, almost like, you know, when IPAs first came out, it was like, oh, what are you pairing this with? Because they're so bitter. And now, like, obviously we don't think about that anymore. Maybe I just need to drink more of these.
Well, with the Ari or the Amaro in there, that's an aperitif, so that is something you usually do drink before you eat to get the gastric juices.
Is this a pre thing?
Well, at least the Amaros themselves are. I don't know if the drink as a whole is, but
gotcha.
I could certainly see it as a pre-food beverage.
Bitter on the back end. Damn, your wife finally told you what she thought. She did. She did. Finally, it's all come out. I hate to have to do this on a podcast, but
bitter. I hardly know
what it is. All right. Well, we jumped into that right away. If you guys if this is your first time either watching here on Twitch or if you're watching the archive version that's up on YouTube, hi. My name is Andrew.
And I am Keith.
And we are About Beverages. This is our About Beverages podcast that we do most Thursday evenings. Usually we start on time. We were slightly late tonight, but we talk about beverages. We talk about sports, music, culture, popular culture things, TV shows, movies. Just kind of, it's just like going like you're meeting your friends down at a local bar, just kind of hanging out with just slightly more like probably analysis.
Especially on the beverage part.
Especially on the beverage part. Exactly. You're at 200,000 points. I've been here for a long time. You have, Ellie, and I appreciate every little bit of you and anybody else that comes here and hangs out. Very, very appreciative of all of that. Nothing too exciting for me this week. Finally, it seems like I shouldn't even say it, but it seems like the air conditioning is finitely working. Haven't had any issues.
Yeah, I heard you guys had the same problem.
We had the exact same thing. Yeah. Like that was what they finally,
because of the dirty electricity or whatever.
That part I didn't get a description of. It was like literally our capacitor itself, because it's the same one that's been there for 8 or 9 years.
Okay.
When they tested it, the reason it would work sometimes and not others is because it was putting out a certain amount of amps or whatever. And if it didn't put out just enough to get the fan started right away, it turns off because the compressor doesn't want to overheat or whatever else. So it was only like whatever, like because I was watching the readings, like 17, and a brand new one was like 40 or 50. Like it was over double. What was it? So, and since then, knock on wood, it's been okay. So
good.
That's probably been the most exciting thing.
That's handsome Pete. He dances for nickels. Pete, you got some customers.
Have you seen this man?
Have you seen this man? Me and my dad are going out for drinks tomorrow night. Love it. Are you gonna have some dinner too, or just drinks? I always like it when drinks turns into dinner with anything, friendships, relationships, whatever else. It's always like you start like,
when
hey,
drinks turned into dinner.
There's something about a drink or two, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm kind of hungry. Yeah. I hope the other person is also hungry.
And then dinner became breakfast.
The saddest thing is, that's even better.
But not hopefully with your dad.
No.
Well, they could have
the saddest thing is when you like actually, you're like, oh, I hope they're hungry. You say, oh, do you want to get something to eat? And they're like, no, actually, I ate something. And it's like, damn it.
Grabbed a bite on the way down.
Guardian down. Oh, great, I'm late. I will pretend that you were not late. Guardian down, is wonderful to see you. How are you doing this fine evening? We're already enjoying the first beverage. Little mixed drink. It's our last night out before I go to uni. So, oh my God, that should be a good night then. That should be a good night then. But yeah, this is tasty. What did you like? What would you say you liked better out of the last 2 drinks the last couple of weeks? Keith, you got one in each of my hand. Which one do you want?
I think out of sheer novelty, I'm going to take the Amaretto.
Okay.
Because I've had fewer of them. Yes.
I don't think I've seen quite this many turnovers in a football game ever, let alone first quarter. I know we're watching it out of the corner of the other screen over here, Mitch. And I'm like, did the ball just get dropped out again? Like there's been an interception. I think there's been 2 fumbles. Has there been anything else? Did I miss it? I see the boys of Casting Pods. Secret. How's it going? Good to see you. How are you doing this fine
evening? We cast our pods and see what we come up with.
I know. 11 turnovers in the first quarter, most in the NFL for the Minnesota Vikings. Okay.
And just
it was another turnover. My God, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Mitch, how was the rest of your stream? How did everything go?
But I think I would have this before the one with the whiskey, with the rye in it. Sour. So,
Oh, wow.
yes.
That was my go-to this week. I had that one 2 more times.
Go-to.
Did not make the other one. I made the other one with the whiskey both times.
Okay.
I like the whiskey. I just like that
There's
little
just
bit
something
extra.
that's appealing
I
to
wanted
me
that little extra.
about the refreshing.
Okay.
And that to me it dials it down a little bit. Just pulls it
it's
back.
still
just,
refreshing.
It is, but it takes it
my
back a little
God.
bit. It's a little too complex to be completely refreshing.
Kirk Cousins in prime time, not surprised. Exactly.
But he hasn't done anything yet. Bad. Yet.
Well, he's constantly doing things bad because he's like, get that COVID shot away from me.
Get that COVID out of here.
11 turnovers in 15 minutes. It sounds like a high school football. No, it was the Vikings in
2 years.
general had the most turnovers in like the first quarter or whatever.
In the last
I think
2 years.
In the last 2 years or whatever. Like I said, I think it's only been like 3 turnovers, but still that's nuts. There's still a minute and a half left of this first quarter. That's still pretty crazy. But we are doing good, Mitch. We're doing good. It is wonderful to see you. Glad you were here. Glad you're here. Glad everybody is here. 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins is a Hall of Famer. I think he finally had like one good game in prime time. And I remember like that being made such a big deal out of like, they're like, oh, you can't play. It's like, why not? Like even Meatloaf knows you have to be at least 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Not 1 out of 15 doesn't count.
He, well, in that game that they lost to the Giants in the playoffs, I don't think he played badly. They just didn't win.
Except for when he decided to throw a short out route to a tight end that wasn't even at the sticks.
Oh, well, that was at the end, right? Yeah. Well, of course.
I'm going to give it to this man right here who's 2 yards in front of me. Okay.
Everybody else is covered.
Good idea. People that were going for that 7-point bet, though, are probably sweating it out a little bit right now. That's just now.
Yep.
Did he make it? No, he missed it. Field goal's no good. It's no good. Like Vikings head coach kind of looks like my neighbor, like a slightly thinner version of my neighbor. Not that my neighbor's overweight in any way, but like just, you know, like when you look at somebody like, oh, he's just not quite the same body.
Oh, I was going to say the Vikings head coach is not. Yeah. Oh, you're saying your neighbor.
My neighbor is my neighbor by a little bit.
Got it.
But not a lot. Like just body size in general. But
I kind of feel seeing Kirk Cousins and seeing that coach on the sideline. I feel like I'm watching the Netflix quarterback show.
Oh, that's right.
So a lot of those too.
Your wife was pushing. I like I said, went and saw a horror movie with Pocket this last weekend, which was super fun, and she was really pushing the quarterback show again.
Oh, okay.
And it came up, and she was like, "Oh, I liked how you talked about like based on time where you." I was like, "Okay, so would I slot this in?"
Oh yeah, where do you slot it in?
I don't know. I was like, "Okay, well that's not helping." I appreciate that you liked how I do these things, but
no, we were talking about that.
But yeah, like I said, you got to find time for that.
I'm up to like I'm on season 2, episode 6 or 7 of Saul. I watched it's like 5 or 6 in the last week. So,
nice.
What's his name? Made his first appearance. Mark Margolis. I can't remember. No, what's his name?
Uncle Ding Ding.
Yeah,
as we call him.
Yeah. When he came in and.
So how are you? So it's definitely a slower burn.
Yes.
Do you like that or don't like that?
I do like it actually. So far because it's not super intense yet.
It's not constant. And for the most part, I would say if you're making a complete generalization about the show, it's not. There are going to be intense moments, but it's not like every Breaking Bad episode you felt like you were going to like get like, oh God,
what's happening now?
Like, oh, I need
what
a minute.
is Jesse going to do that's really stupid? And,
oh God,
yeah. This is, but I like it and it's going back and forth between like the many different storylines because you got Mike's thing going on and you got obviously Saul's stuff going on and Kim was her thing and she's trying to.
I like her a lot. She's really good.
Yeah, and Michael McKean and he seems like he's being. I've liked him more.
And how good is Howard too?
Oh yeah, and you know who that guy was? It's funny. He was an actor. He did. So he was a professor in Saved by the Bell, the college years. He was. He had longer hair back then. And then also in the Friends episode where Phoebe's having the baby, he plays a nurse. And it's right
you know what? We actually, I can't remember when that one came up because, like I said, my wife has watched through Friends within the last year or something. And that was on and we were like, oh my God. And then I think I even showed that to Joe at some point because I was like, oh my God, look, he was in.
Yeah.
whatever.
So he was, and then he was like a spokesperson for a bank for a little while, like AIG or something like that.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh, that's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
And so now to see him,
he's great, and he has an amazing like arc.
Okay.
Like overall too. Like it's pretty fantastic.
I've gone from I don't like him to okay, he was really nice, and now I'm like, wait, why is he doing that to her? But anyways, so I'm
you find out so much of stuff like what ties back into Breaking Bad and like and even just in Saul, like just different little things where you actually learn true motivations of where things like went and stuff. And Michael McKean is so good, obviously in the show.
I like it. It's all good, man.
My 11th grade year, my high school quarterback threw 7 straight pick sixes to start the game and got pulled out. Why didn't he get pulled out after 2 or 3 is my first question. Our second stringer threw 4 additional pick sixes in possession after replacing our starter. So my team was down 77-0 to start the second quarter. We lost 84-3. At least the defense picked it up apparently in the third and fourth quarter.
What kind of routes are they?
They must have just all been
pick
go
sixes.
routes.
7?
Secret, that's amazing.
So that's 11 pick sixes. That's 77 points.
Yeah, 77-0 to start the second quarter.
Wow. Okay.
But look at that though. Only one more
After that,
touchdown.
we just decided to start running the ball.
Yeah, they just did a kneel down and they punted on first down.
Punt on first down.
Punt on first down. I play free safety, so we only give 1 rushing touchdown after that. Nice. They were being kind.
No, that's good. I like that. Would we tweak it? Maybe say bring back the lemon a little bit. I wouldn't mind actually tasting a little bit more of the gin.
Yeah, I think the gin, which I'm surprised at with the Hendrix. I guess it's kind of getting a little lost. Maybe I'm thinking like 209, maybe.
Well, that would go right in with the
something a little more citrus forward, type of gin.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else like lately I've had that's been a little bit like that. I wonder what the color would look like if you used Magellan, like the blue, and then all of a sudden you had the red. Like what that color would turn into, because the color on this is very nice between the sweet vermouth and the egg white and everything else.
Color on the picture is even more amazing.
Yeah,
I like that.
He should have been pulled out on night of conception for a performance like that. That's true. If you knew that early, Guardian Down, that's where you'd want to go back to if you had the time machine. Oh my God. Who are the Dolphins playing this week, Guardian Down? Who are you going to demolish with another 500 yards passing by Tua Tagovailoa?
Patriots.
Did you see Tua Tagovailoa, his middle name?
Steve.
It's literally like that.
Bob.
Did you see it?
Bob Tagovailoa.
I'm assuming this was true. Maybe Guardian Down can back me up on this, because everyone was like, that is not on my bingo card of what I thought his middle, because it's like, his first name, which I won't even try and print, like amazing, like I said, obviously beautiful, like I said, name, very long, very big. And
more than Tua?
Yeah.
That's a short.
Well, because it's what is it? Yeah, because it's something, and then it's the Tagovailoa, like right. That's
right.
But yeah, it's Tua something. His middle name is like Donnie. I'm not kidding. Like, someone looked this up. I don't know if it was like a joke graphic, so I apologize if it's not true. But I saw that because I was like, because then people were showing like all the other people that had then the weird names, like the middle names that are like really like the opposite. Pocket, how's it going?
Oh, hello,
Good
Pocket.
to see you. How are you? Sunday night prime time, where we belong. Damn straight.
Patriots.
I really envy the Dolphins and their quarterback coach and their head coach specifically, I guess I should say. I like him a lot, Mike McDaniel. He's just
the head coach.
He's just really funny. Yeah, their head coach. Yeah, I shouldn't say their quarterback coach. Their head coach, I think, is hilarious. His press conferences are pretty amazing. Like, I think he's just, I don't know. It's almost borderline like British humor, because it's just very dry, like deadpan, and all of a sudden he just makes some Donny Osmond.
Donny Osmond Tagovailoa.
Well, yeah, it is like Donnie. Like it is off the. Now I'll probably have to like look it up here. I'm going to take a minute. But yeah, like I don't know. He must have had, I don't know if it was like an interview something, or like they did a piece on him where I didn't know, like he'd actually gone to like rehab and stuff like that when he'd gotten, because he talked about like, having issues, because I mean, he was like right behind Kyle Shanahan. And he felt like he was always chasing all these other offensive minds because he was with, all those different, up and coming, people, like I said, whether it was the Rams head coach, Sean McVay, or and just all that stuff. And at some point, yeah, like I said, like I don't know if he probably already had some addiction issues, but then he went to rehab, and I was like, wow, that's impressive that he's turned that
cool.
much around, at that age. So It is. Yeah, I thought it was actually. I saw that. I was like, this can't.
It can't be Donnie.
This can't be. No, it's not Osmond. It's just Donnie.
No.
But it is Donnie. Like, let's see if it actually says. There it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So his first name is. I'm not even a guess at it, and then it's Donnie and Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding?
I'm surprised they didn't just start calling him Donnie.
Well, because they were talking about something because then people were joking because they were like, I didn't think that would be his middle name. And then you have someone else that like their middle name was like McCorkle. Who was that? That was like also someone like a football player. Like his middle name was like,
I don't know.
I need rehab if I was John Elway's ball boy. Also true. Also true. But yeah, like I said, a good game for him. Good game for that team. That is a solid win. Someone that just knows
That's why I
to
bet
just
money
throw
on
football. Did you put money on? Oh, that's right. You
That's
did.
the one I bet.
Did you? How
That's the
much did you
only
win
one I
on that
won.
one?
Did I put down 10? I don't know, 30, I think maybe.
Okay.
Well,
Was that just
probably
straight up
net
to win?
20. Yeah, I just picked money line.
Okay.
Yeah.
You felt good about the Dolphins? You saw something?
I did.
How do you feel about it this week? You got Keith. What are your hot picks for the week? Sponsored by
Don't,
DraftKings here on About Beverages.
Well, that was funny too, because like the Todd's thing that he does.
How did you do after the first week?
Well, so I knew I had missed the Chiefs. There were a few others I missed, and I had texted him because we're going to meet with him tomorrow, and I said something about I got off to a horrible start this week. Yeah, and he texts back. He's like, I thought you were near the top of the leaderboard, and then he sent me a picture. He's like, do you have a problem with second? And I was like, I said, oh my God, I had no idea that I was even.
I mean, everyone else. Like,
a lot of people.
When you miss big ones like the Chiefs, like most people are. Who's not picking the Chiefs?
Well, probably
unless
Todd.
He probably did. Was he number one on the board?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was surprised to be up there. So anyway, we'll see. So I'm channeling my focus into
okay.
since I don't have fantasy football to.
That's probably
to
good.
distract
I
me
mean, you can
anymore.
probably win a
Well, I
lot
just
more
got
money in
lucky.
that
I thought
league
it was-
too. Anyway,
Well, you can win weekly, and then you can win the big thing at the
was
end.
it $30 a week or more?
50. He pays out
Damn.
50. I know. You should do it.
He never asked me.
I've extended the invitation vicariously.
That's not.
He
You're
understands
not Todd.
that. He says,
You're not
"Do you know
Todd.
people?
Do you know people? Do you know people?
Know.
I might not
is
be.
in it.
I might not be considered people.
Jay is in it. You could be invited. You could get Joe in it too.
Yeah, he probably would do it. I bet.
Yeah. Fun. Next year.
Next year. All right. Well, good. Well, I'm glad you're sticking with Saul. I'm glad you got back into it. 'Cause I know it's been a little bit,
just been a little bit of a break, but yeah.
Is that
watched a
still
few.
your like as you're working out treadmill style or something? You're watching things?
No,
or?
I watched a few.
It's the international sign for treadmill. Keith has been teaching me sign language with his coworker. This is treadmill.
I haven't learned anything new lately.
Oh damn! Was this one was basketball, right? No, it's not quite this.
I think it's, yeah. Like,
Was it just this?
I think it was this.
I can't remember. Yeah. I was telling
this
Joe about it because I was like, I said it's not chest pass, but it's like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I told him, this was football, and I was like, hockey.
Yeah.
What's tennis?
I'll have to ask.
Yeah. You should start making guesses. Yeah, exactly. That's the Michael J. Oh, Guardian down. No, come on. That's a little lowbrow. You're in timeout. Michael J. Fox. My God, national treasure that he is. I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. Disappointed. But yeah, I'm glad you're sticking with it. I've gone back. I've gone back to it because it is. Like I said,
how many seasons of that are there?
It's only like 5 or 6.
Okay, probably what 10, 12 episodes.
So I think they. I remember them joking about. I think they literally did exactly one more episode than Breaking Bad.
Okay,
because I think they did 63 and Breaking Bad was 62 or something.
All right.
And I remember actually what was really funny was I think it was it they were saying. I think when they started Better Call Saul, Bob Odenkirk did a whole little speech when he's like, great TV shows are really judged by their spinoffs. He's like, so it'll really be about this, not actually Breaking Bad, because he mentioned Mary Tyler Moore and all the spinoffs that show had, and that's probably got to have the most spinoffs of all time, right? Don't you think? Mary Tyler Moore show,
Rhoda, Phyllis. Well, I guess then you had Lou Grant.
Wasn't there Lou Grant or something? Right?
Yeah, those probably be the only.
Are those the only ones?
I mean, Betty White had her own shows, and then
oh
Ted Knight had a show.
Oh my God, no one can kick a field goal. Oh, he made that? I don't think so.
Ted Knight had a show, but it wasn't a spin-off of that. And Murray had a show, but The Love Boat was not a spin-off.
No, but direct spin-offs. That's got to be the most, though, because, like, Cheers just had Frasier.
Well, but no, it had the Tortellis.
Oh, that's... God, how long was that on?
Not for very long.
Was Maude from Mary Tyler Moore? Guardian Noun's asking in chat. I don't think so.
No.
That was from, what do you call it? From...
All in the Family. And that had the Jeffersons. All in the Family had the Jeffersons and Maude.
And then there's Maude.
Yeah.
Lady Godiva wears a pretty bag.
That's not a bit.
And then there's Maude. No, I wish. That's it. And then there's Maude.
And Maude.
Yeah, that's a good
Joan
one.
of Arc with the Lord to guide her. But then from that was Good Times was from
Temporary Layoffs.
From Maude.
Good Times. Oh, does that count then?
I guess it depends on the generations.
Okay.
Because if you had the initial show,
Maude.
you have the mother show, and then it spun
the
off
family tree of shows.
Yeah, how many?
Okay, I'm all right with this.
All right.
Okay, so you had All in the Family.
All in the Family, right? The Jeffersons.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
And you know who you were then. I did not know he'd be able to do that. Let's go.
Girls were girls. And that's got to be what the Family Guy song is. Take, right? The Family Guy song. Isn't that a takeoff of that or an homage to that?
What is?
The Family Guy theme song.
I think a little bit.
Okay,
yeah, probably. Just any kind of theme song in general. Baby, I saw last night that the Pirates have a really good young pitcher in single A, but since the kid threw about 200 innings in his senior season, has a total of 177 single A so far. The org is not thinking about shutting him down just yet, and that is driving all the...
Oh, no, they did shut him down. I had read the other day they were shutting him down because he'd proven everything he needed to prove. Paul Skenes, Skenes. The last thing I had read was that they had shut him down, but maybe they've turned him back on.
Not yet. They want one more game.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Are you sure?
We've got PCA now. I want PCA to... I was a little upset. They took him out.
Are we going to get to see him on
yesterday.
Saturday?
Yeah, we should. At least somewhere.
I saw they brought him up. They said they said they're bringing him up because of the push, and we're making the playoff move, and we're bringing up our best player. And he was like,
and then he was coming up to bat with the bases loaded the other day, and
he hit a grand slam.
No, and Ross took him out. I wanted him to have that chance to.
That's weird.
Yeah, because then they lost anyway. So they lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockies. So.
But then he went out and had a hunting accident.
That's right.
It turns into the radio days.
Yeah.
That's what I always think of when it's like ever something goes bad. And they're like, but the next year he pitched a complete game in heaven. Whatever it was at the end.
He was blind. He had one leg.
That's what it was. But he had heart.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden he was blind or something.
Yeah,
he shot his eyes.
Yeah, it was like a Paul Harvey kind of thing.
Yeah. Good day. I've been following him when he started to just go on a tear. What was his name again?
Paul, I think it's Skenes. Skenes. Baseball player. There you go.
Paul Skenes.
He's got the porn stash going on.
Oh, he does a little bit. Paul Skenes. Where did Paul Skenes come from?
His parents.
Paul Skenes, amateur college and minor league athletics, has been shut down for the season and not going to do the one game that Secret talked about in chat. That's interesting. They just said it right there on Google. I just searched. Aaron Rodgers tear or paper tear? That is very good. I appreciate that one, Guardian Down. That's a good one. Oh, man. That's bad. But the Pirates will trade him in the... I mean, that is also true. The Pirates like to do that. Pirates like to get rid of their talent.
They're getting better. They started out well, and then they just fell off.
Is it just they just don't pay? Is that the whole thing? Are they
a small market team? So I don't know.
I always think of Pennsylvania as a tiny little state, and little market, little people.
Tiny little state.
They just don't pay. Yeah, okay. I thought that's what it is. They just usually wind up not paying out the cash. So it was All in the Family turned into Maude, the Jeffersons,
yeah.
And then Maude spawned off, you just said...
Good Times. I don't think anything else came from that.
So if you really extend out, that's up to 3.
That's 3, yeah.
They did pay Reynolds. So you've got those 3. And then, like I said, Mary Tyler Moore, you had 3 as well.
Yeah,
directly 3.
yeah.
Immediate 3. Was anything come off of there that could have been? Most successful one of those was probably Rhoda. That lasted the longest,
I think that lasted longer than...
Because Phyllis and Lou Grant's show didn't do too much.
Lou Grant was around for a while, but that was in a drama. It wasn't a comedy.
Oh, that's true.
But still around.
But beyond that, the last big contract they paid was the last Kendall contract before they traded him with 4
Jason
years
Kendall.
left.
Oh my gosh, we're going back now. Oh, I remember when he broke his ankle. Ooh, that was one of those.
Oh God, have you seen the footage?
Fractures.
Speaking of, since we'll bring up Aaron Rodgers for a quick second, have you seen the footage of Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, but it didn't look bad at first. At least
If you look, you can see all of a sudden where the tendon goes back up into his.
Oh,
because they were talking about when your Achilles like snaps, like it connects somewhere in the
Yeah.
back of like
pulls back.
Yeah, and they said you could see it when they do the slow mo. Yeah, you can see it on his leg. Also, you see this like movement of his leg. Yeah, it's bad.
Ouch.
It's like ow. I can't
It's like
believe
a
that
window
he kind of
shade.
like yeah. Oh God.
He stood up and then he went back down.
Yeah, it flopped around there. Ugh.
Bastard couldn't get 4 rushing yards before he did that.
Wouldn't it be funny if he just rolled for 4 rushing yards?
Oh my God, I would have won my bet.
That was all you were missing?
That's all I needed.
All I
Well, because I wasn't going to bet on the Bills. I learned to not bet on the Bills after last year. I lost a lot of money betting on the stupid Bills.
Totally not finishing this Fireball tonight, Bean.
Fireball.
I bet you do. I bet you do. You're going to mix it into something. What are you going to mix it into? You're going to make it put it in a chocolate shake or something like that? Mix it in there, a little cinnamon chocolate shake, little Mexican like hot chocolate kind of thing there, but in ice form. Watch the reaction from Shannon and Skip both about puke. Yeah, it's great because you kind of see him bend and then all of a sudden you just see like a little yeah.
And that's what I was like. Oh, I wonder if it's his Achilles.
I had seen it several times, didn't notice it, and then it was when I read someone talking about what it's like and why people know, because they're like, yeah, you can actually like on his leg see the like knob of like the wad of where that had just. I was like, oh God, Jesus Christ. Gonna mix it into my throat straight up. I mean, Bean, you do you.
I
compared
saw
to the
that.
Joe Theismann injury.
I saw that live on my little black and white television in 1985.
I remember seeing that, and then again
because his foot was on the ground and his bone was on the at the same time. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor jumps up. Play it quick.
I have never seen a player jump up so quick, saying God. "Dear God, get someone over here." Planty, how's it going? Hi, I'm here. Can you start over?
We have amaretto sours.
Yeah, we started with amaretto sours. We started with a slight variation on it because that's all we drink now. Is that obviously? We did start off with a cocktail though, Negroni sour cocktail. So sour again, but Negroni. My brother had the same type of tear when he had a vasectomy. Oh God. Taylor was in full panic. Yeah, he was in full panic. He did not mean to do that. Oh God, that was such a horrible. And then who was it? Alex Smith, right? Then he basically did the thighs.
Oh yeah,
himself.
that wasn't very good either.
That was also nasty.
I've seen his leg. Have you seen his leg post surgery?
No.
Yeah, he's done like commercials and things where he's like,
"Look at my leg."
Well, I think because I think it's for leg. Shoes, like a shoe that okay. and he's wearing shorts. So yeah,
why?
You sound like what's her name in Three Amigos? I'll come back one day.
I'll come back someday. Why?
Why? Well, I thought you and I could.
Oh.
And she's dead.
Anyway. Alex Smith was in a critical state too, like close to death. Yeah, there was something with that too.
Well, yeah, he then had infections and things like that. So
how come can it just not look normal?
I think because of all the surgeries he's had and all of that stuff, and then skin grafts and all of that.
Jesus.
Yeah. But he still played then another season or two, so good for him. Yeah.
Snap back like a window shade. Oh, God. That is horrible. All right. Well, we were talking last week about that it is in theory it's peaking into fall.
Well, and Oktoberfest starts in September, I believe. So
that's very true.
And being of German descent, we need to have a German Oktoberfest beer.
That is very
so we have
true.
one.
Let's give it a shot.
I'm Keith. Oh, and he's Andrew.
That would have been great if we just gone right into that. Like Smith's leg is like Owen Wilson's nose.
Wow.
That's not the comparison I thought I'd see this evening in chat, but that's good, Bean. I like it. I have a friend who probably would agree with that as well, for sure. But yeah, so we've got a little Oktoberfest, German Oktoberfest that we're going to go grab. We'll take a quick break and go get some new glassware. And yeah, we'll come in. I want someone, hint, 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 to make an Amaretto sour. I would love to do that. Be happy to do that. Maybe I can try and make it happen this weekend when we watch the football game.
Or you can order one at the Angry Bastard or the Arrogant Bastard.
Oh, I wonder if the Arrogant Butcher.
Arrogant Butcher. Yeah, no, I know.
Derek Boogard's. No, I don't know who that is.
Derek Bogard.
I hear about the Boog person.
I hear about the Boog.
That was what I thought. But
I went over
there.
there.
All right, now I got to look this person
several
up
times
before we take our quick
about
break.
Dancing.
Oh, that's not that bad. It is a hockey player.
Boogard.
Nice job, Bean. It is a hockey player. At least the pictures I'm seeing here, it looks okay. Oh, God.
Cause of death.
He died at 28 from an accidental drug and alcohol overdose while recovering from a concussion.
Oh, gosh.
That went a different route. The Boogeyman. Sushi. Hi.
Hi, Sushi.
Have we stacked another good day with Henry, the kitty? Except for severe CTE. And some other things, too. That's probably what put him into that. Okay, well, I don't think his nose looks quite that bad, though. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go get some new glasses and grab the Oktoberfest beer. Thank you guys all for hanging out.
Even his nose isn't his nose anymore.
That's very true. That is very
Even
true.
Gus isn't Gus anymore.
Be right back.
Hit that button.
Hitting that button.
Get on it.
Snap the button. You didn't drop your phone. That's how it stops the music, too. I don't know if you know that.
No.
If you throw your phone
That's
down,
what
it
it
automatically stops the music. Hey, Jay, how's it going? Good to see you. No news is good news. Sushi. Truer words have never been said. Nose is broken, had it broken about 10 times. Well, it still looks good. The pictures that we brought up quickly on Google, so nothing looked as bad as Owen Wilson's nose. That's what we'll say for 100%. So are you thinking this is a podcast, or do you think we just know that the wine is a podcast, or just crack this open? What do you feel like?
Maybe just crack it open.
You feel like cracking it open?
Crack it open.
Okay.
And maybe there'll be some snippets.
Some snippets of Americana?
Snippets of Americana. Okay. Then we're not here next week, but maybe the following week we need to have a pumpkin beer at the ready. Well, no, I don't. I'm fine if we don't do pumpkin beer. It seems.
See, he
even though I
asks.
don't like pumpkin beer, it seems just like something's missing. if
We should
don't
have a
do
pumpkin
it.
beer at the ready, which I totally can find some.
Okay.
And then I think on top of that, though, you also found a mixed drink that involved apple cider and some whiskey and some other things.
Rye,
which kind of
as long as you have rye, which I think you do.
I may have some rye
You may
whiskey
have some
lying
rye
around.
around
I may
here.
have some
Okay.
rye. I just put in a eye opener in the pub. Okay. All right. I'm going to go there first before I
it's
grab the
gonna
beer.
be the
Let's see what we got.
picture of the nose.
Whoops. Wrong director. Yep. Wrong one. There. We're going to the pub.
Oh, that looks good. Oh, that's something else.
2023, a Brewer's Odyssey double stuffed blueberry Oreo milkshake sour. Fruited pastry sour conditioned on blueberries, 200 pounds of Oreo cookies, vanilla beans. This time around, we threw in a healthy dose of what? Palaka? Beer started as a
no idea what that
tongue-in-cheek
is.
idea and then became all too real for our cellar team. Each year we make it up with Andy and add something more. This year we might have ventured too far into outer
As long as
space.
it's not a ketchup
Are you
Oreo.
getting some of those? Orca, how's it going? Good to see you. Are you beginning any of those anytime soon? Because that looks delicioso. Looks delicioso. All right. So it is kind of fall season-ish, depending on where you are in the country. At least it's thinking about it, as we talked earlier. So it kind of starts to become time for Oktoberfest beers. They've already been out probably for over a month now, at least.
Probably something like that, yeah.
Well, and you even said technically Oktoberfest is
I think it happens in September.
So
Yes.
which is kind of weird.
In preparation.
But in theory,
for the
you're
celebration.
using things from what? The previous year's harvest? Is that why it's called Oktoberfest?
Could
You're
be.
using the bounty that was left over from the previous season, hoping for good things and tidings to come in the
Paying
next.
it forward
Yeah, paying it forward
into the
perhaps.
next season, yes.
Okay. Well, that's what we've got. We've got a little Paulaner
Mm-hmm.
Oktoberfest.
Correct.
Beer. You got to say it that way because it's B-I-E-R.
Beer.
That's right. Bayer? No, it's
Beer.
not Bayer.
Beer.
No, don't do that. Chocolate is a chocolate additive. Okay, that's kind of what I was guessing at, but I was like, I didn't want to, I didn't want to guess. Exactly. So we've got it in the fridge here. We've got ridiculously tall glasses for half beers that we're about to pour as well, which is kind of funny.
I did buy 2, but I only brought 1 because I do need to, practice safe podcasting because I have to drive home. So I didn't want to like this too much and just pound that down and then 2 glasses of wine or something. I mean, we had a cocktail.
When did the 2 glasses of wine thing? You've never had more than a few sips of wine ever.
That's true.
It is a 16-ounce can, though, it looks like, from the original Munich Oktoberfest, Germany's #1 Oktoberfest beer.
They also do a Marzen Oktoberfest as well, so which I'm assuming would be maltier. This is probably going to be lighter.
We have had that one. This one is a lager. I know we've had the Marzen Oktoberfest because I think that one was definitely on the maltier, breadier side.
This is at least at Trader Joe's, we're selling the 4-pack for $9.
I'm glad we brought these tall glasses just for the foam.
Yes, that's right. Well, remember the video you'd shared that one time with that guy. He's like, you want it here. You don't want the foam in your stomach.
100%. This is funny. See, I actually utilized the full height of the glass.
That's what we said. Let's bring these in.
Look at that. Ooh.
This looks like a bunch of foam floating.
Fall season, you mean second summer? That is true, Sushi. For us, it is like second summer, basically. I always joke about that in Arizona, you have 2 seasons, or at least southern Arizona, you have 2 seasons. It's not the boys of summer.
Oh.
You have 2 seasons. You have summer and fall. That's literally all you have.
The boys of second summer?
That's right. The boys of second summer. Pilsner? I thought I saw specifically this said lager. This could be a Pilsner, though, too. 6% ABV. Okay.
Surprising.
Well, I should just look at the link that I have right here.
Oh, wait.
I think
do you have a
where
link in chat?
I do. There's a link in chat, I'm sure.
Oh, let's follow that.
This Golden Oktoberfest lager is the only beer served in Paulaner Oktoberfest tents today. It also happens to be the best-selling Oktoberfest beer in Germany.
By the way, did you know?
So when Paulaner is pitching a tent, it's with Oktoberfest beer.
Okay.
No?
They use this can for their tent pitching.
It's right there. There's the glass. Golden indeed. Yeah.
Indeed.
Ingredients: water, malted barley, hops. Hop varieties: Hercules, Hallertau, and Tradition. Malt varieties: Pilsner malt, of course, as you mentioned, Pilsner malt. Munich malt, and dark barley. I spent a week there one night. I knew it.
I knew it. I am Jean Valjean.
It came up the other day. I was texting with someone. The missing evidence in the Kilner case. My God, he was innocent. He went to the chair 5 years ago, Frank. Oh, never mind. That's a clip I need to put. I need to get some Naked Gun clips. That's one of my favorites of all
Nordberg?
time.
No
Whenever you'd find something, it'd be, my God, it's the missing evidence in the Kilner case. My God, he was innocent.
Oh, that's sad, actually.
He went to the chair 5 years ago, Frank.
Oh.
Yeah, that's actually probably what's even.
With all the ID television and date lines and all those things. Your guy almost had a touchdown.
Yeah, he almost did. Malty? Little bready, yeasty, kind of light bready, yeasty.
Something there's a little something herbaceous as well.
Okay, what kind of herbaceous are we talking here?
Herbaceous.
Like, am I talking like I've got some Italian bread in front of me or something, like some herb bread like that, like a pizza crust? Like, what do we got going on?
I don't know.
Okay, should we taste it then?
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to get there.
I'm kind of surprised at 6% alcohol.
Yeah.
I know that's not a high number, but whenever I think of
Jay
something
will
that's
almost get out of bed for that.
Yeah, whenever I think of something this light, I'm like
6%. Yeah.
It's kind of like, like on about. It's got that classic, just kind of German, whatever, lager, Pilsner taste.
I'd be happy to, maybe start with that.
If I was in Germany, I would start with this. Yeah. And then I would hope for more.
Yeah.
I would hope for more.
No burning.
That's fine.
Doesn't burn on the way down.
No, not at all. If it burns on the way down, probably something wrong. If it's
burn on the way back up.
Oh, God. Well, if you have a lot of them.
Yeah. Then it would burn.
What was the Simpsons saying? If it's brown, drink it down. If it's black, send it back. For like the water in like Springfield.
Not if it's yellow, let it mellow. Not that.
Also bad. Yeah. Is that what you expected? Better, worse? I
don't know what I didn't really have an expectation.
Okay.
That was funny when I texted you about the Pizza Port beer. I'm like, I want to try something mid. I did look. It was only canned about a month ago on the 18th. So at least it'll be the same, but it'll be very fresh. I did buy a can of that just for the heck of it.
Okay.
So I don't know. Actually, yeah, we don't get together next week, but who knows?
You can just drink it and put it up on Twitter.
Yep. I guess that's about what I expected. I didn't really think about it too much. I am used to Oktoberfests being maltier, I think.
I think that's kind of maybe what I was expecting. I mean,
so this is a little more refreshing then?
Yeah, I had adjusted that idea when I actually did look at the website beforehand. I was like, oh, lager. And then when I saw what was kind of in it, I was like, oh, okay. That's
so if when we go to Chase Field on Saturday, if they have this available, because, we always look for our extremely overpriced beers.
But best value.
Best value.
Well, usually, lately we've been still doing the Hop Stash and those ones. Right?
Yeah, that's true. When we do that, yeah,
because that's at least the best
this
flavor
was like
out
a really
there.
good price. But I don't know. I probably wouldn't. No, I probably wouldn't.
Who does those? Is that Budweiser? No, who owns them? Is that AB and Bev or something like that?
Oh, the Hop Valley, or
Hop
whatever.
Valley or whatever. Who owns Hop Valley?
God, I forgot.
Like those are always have been pretty good because they usually have like the mango stash and just the hop stash. They do the an imperial that's always like about $1 more or whatever. But that's it's crazy how expensive those get.
Yeah, 5 ounces for $65.
And also now the game being like an hour shorter.
Yeah, I know.
Like that's the thing. It's gonna be weird. I don't know if I've actually sat through an entire baseball game this season now with the clock, and I've seen it. I know what it is. I know what's going on. Hop Valley sounds like a nice place to live. It does. It sounds like wonderful. Oh, he did get a touchdown.
I don't know if he got a touchdown. I'm not sure what they're saying. Maybe he fumbled it out of the end zone though.
Oh,
I wonder if it's a turnover.
Unless they're saying he had the reach.
Oh, are they saying?
I think they're saying that. I don't know what's going on. Anyone actually have sound on the football game?
Well, I didn't see any points up there. They don't look happy.
Fumbled touchback?
Oh, okay. That's what I was saying.
Oh, so now he's sad about it? I thought they seemed like they were happy about it.
No, it's a fumble.
That seems accurate, though.
Points for fumbles?
I was going to be kind of surprised if it wasn't. Like, I was going to...
He didn't really have possession of it.
No, not at all.
His hand is touching it.
I'm sure his hands are strong, but it looked like a little too much. And I also think it's weird, like some touchbacks are at the 20, some are at the 25.
I think it's
standardize
the fumble that goes out of the ends. I don't think it should be a turnover if you fumble it.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, that's weird. Your DP will be talking about it tomorrow.
Sound on another piece of technology and miss out on these charming voices. Hell no, I wish I could mute my kids. Guardian down. God damn it. What have you been having lately, Guardian Down? Like I said, I know you've been teasing me in chat with your peanut butter and jelly sour beer, and like I said, the one you just put in there. Is there anything you've been having lately that is of interest or something you've just found, or have you been having anything Oktoberfest wise? What's anybody haven't been having in chat? Anything that is seasonal? Like I said, I know we always you used to. I think I drink less and less seasonally as the years go on. Like obviously, if things come up, it's fine, but I don't do I know you're always like, I don't know about red wine. It's like I'm gonna have red wine whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, that's still kind of the one thing for me.
Is that the only
but
one
I'll
that
drink
sticks?
stouts during all times of the year. But red wine just doesn't appeal to me when it's warm outside. So, but that's okay because I like white wine and rosés. I have rosés.
CBD seltzers with a shot of PB&J moonshine. CBD seltzers. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. PB. Oh, you were talking about that moonshine too. I get a lot of people that tell us that we should try moonshine. I mean, I know it's like just that branded stuff or whatever, but it's like I get a lot of people like, oh, you got this man. I'm like, no. I'm like, I guess if we ever made like a shake or something, like it always seems like every one of those kind of like flavored things, I always think of it as a dessert thing and like, oh, I should put this in a malt or whatever.
I should try it next time Dan Patrick has one of his tailgate moonshines. I should try to get. They go real fast, but I should try.
Oh, does he actually have alcohol?
He actually has. He's partnered with some, and then he actually partnered with because they went over to Ireland. He's actually partnered with somebody over here. It's called like Keeper's Heart or something, or he works with, and they're like a whiskey and bourbon. It's like an American whiskey and Irish whiskey hybrid sort of thing. But yeah, no, he has his own. It's called Tailgate Moon. But they do all these different flavors, apple and peppermint toothpaste. And no, I'm just kidding.
Wow, that's gross.
Peppermint.
They
toothpaste
just show the
moonshine.
Danettes like brushing their teeth with it.
That's what we use it for.
You should though. Like that would be like I mean, like to put that in the title of something, it would be kind of fun. I feel slightly like a touch guilty, not guilty, but I feel a touch that I should have bought a bottle when we were at the, like I said, when I was with the HJ and we were in line. I should have bought a bottle of that Coors whiskey because that just would have been fun.
I talked with Fitz about that, and he's like,
had he heard of it?
Yeah, I guess he'd said he had heard of that, and he's like, yeah,
I could have had it signed by the David Coors.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, Mr. Coors was actually there. The David Coors.
That's right. They had him in. He was in a wheelchair. They had wheeled. No, he wasn't an old man. It was the younger Coors, probably Coors, David Coors the third. Or something, I'm sure.
Speaking of the Naked, no, is that Police Squad or the Naked Gun movie?
Which one?
The quote that you just had.
The Naked Gun movie.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff, though, if you actually watch from the Files of Police Squad, those shows,
they do.
There's a lot of cherry picking, which is fine. Like I said, because people haven't seen that.
The guy who plays Harry Potter's uncle was in the second Naked Gun. He's the guy in the wheelchair. Impersonating.
Yeah. He has a tattoo of Whistler's mother on his butt or something like that. Or spit in his face. Either way, he could have taken a pic with him and shook his hand. Wow. I could have. I'm sure he's a fine person. It's like NyQuil coming out of the bottle. Oh God, that sounds gross. The PB&J moonshine just kind of looks like that. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, maybe it's the maybe the peppermint. The peppermint toothpaste
could be. Yeah. Maybe he is so yummy. I'm sure those things are. Like I said, I would say like next time you see that, we probably should do something like that because then we could have like
I'll see. Yeah,
we could do, Dan Patrick's Moonshine Fest or something like. We could taste it. We could put it in a cocktail, put it in a dessert. Like we could almost make like a whole show out of being goofy with that. I still have, but everyone always keeps telling me like it comes up in chat all the time that I should get the peanut butter. Is it whiskey?
No,
peanut butter whiskey. The Screwball peanut butter whiskey. Because
we still sell that.
Make a chocolate peanut butter, like whatever.
Yeah, you were going to do that and to celebrate once you like got to your weight when you were.
Oh, that's true. That's why I never got there.
You're like, well, you got there.
I made sure to never get there
because you're like,
I was 1 pound off, and then I started eating
boozy
again.
Shake.
Yeah, no, that would have been pretty tasty. I think. I feel it would have been tasty. How much is it at Trader Joe's?
30, I think.
Okay,
but it's a small. They used to have it at.
Costco has it. It's that same price, but it's a bigger bottle. I'm like, do I want more of that thing?
Yeah.
No, I guess is the question. When we try it and we don't like it, we could just return it.
If we really don't like it.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
This company has what they call sip and cream. I'm not familiar with that term. Ooh. I don't think you want to be familiar with that term. Jesus Christ, Guardian Down. What do you got over there? This is sip and cream. Bill's making it in the back.
Yeah.
God damn it, no.
Chris Sanderson's making in the back.
He's making more of the sip and cream. There was what was it? Oh, there's like it's like Coffee Mate. It was like, I think it was my wife's last job. One of her her boss, previous boss or something like that. And it was like it's like literally called it's like Tennessee Cream or something like that. And it's basically because there's like whiskey in a Coffee Mate. Oh, so it had alcohol content to it. Sugarland Shine is the company. I think that's Lucky's stage name. I'm pretty sure Sugarland Shine. Sugarland Shine. But I think it's called like Tennessee. Like I'm sure other people have names for it. That's what this was called. But it's like, it's not a high alcohol thing, but it's, it's like probably like a equivalent of like a 20 or something like that. I don't know, it's 10% or 15% or whatever. But then it's like basically what you'd put in your coffee. And I was using it for a little. I was like, this is pretty good. Like I was making, good coffee, and you'd have some coffee and you're like, Oh, that alcohol in here. I'm just at home.
So there's the Dan Patrick.
Oh, okay. Watermelon. Oh, were they available?
Watermelon.
They all say sold out.
Yeah.
$130.
That was the gift set.
Oh, okay.
Caramel.
Wait a minute. If you don't, the other ones are $55.
Well, it was the gift set. That's just 50. Yeah.
Let me try this again.
Caramel.
The other ones are $55.
Yeah, the watermelon is it, but there was a gift set for $130. But
Okay.
yeah, oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's also expensive.
They're $55.
I thought $30.
Yeah.
So you've doubled what I thought it would be.
Okay, so maybe we don't try to buy that.
Unless we can get the exact one we think would be interesting in like 3 or 4 cocktails.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What were the flavors there? I saw watermelon.
Something azalea, salted caramel.
Okay, now we're talking.
That'd probably be all right.
Okay, that sounds all
Yeah.
right. Sugarland's Shine. This Sugarland's Distilling Company. Sugarland's Moonshine Cocktails. There's those. Are you of legal drinking age? Yes. What? High Rock Vodka. Appalachian Sippin' Cream. Is that what you were talking about? Okay. They have something called Roaming Man Whiskey. The fuck is that?
You have a drink and you want to go for a walk.
Roaming Man Whiskey? What is this?
This is
What are
not
people doing?
The Roman man.
Moonshine cocktails is one thing. Featured recipe: strawberry and cream pops, blueberry coffee, candy apple. Appalachian Sippin' Cream. Also, someone needs to work on their website because look, they're like it's cut off.
Yeah.
Roaming Man Whiskey.
Well, this is just Appalachia.
No, you can see the beginning of the A
No,
there. It's
true,
at least that letter. All right, I'm clicking on
Appalachia.
Roaming. I got to find out about Roaming Man Whiskey.
Oh,
They're using those glasses.
cask strength.
Is a cask strength whiskey distilled by Sugarland Distilling Company since the spring of 2017. Roaming Man has continued to receive gold medals and international. Okay, all right. I've made fun of it too early. Be sure to sign up for the Whiskey Club for early access to news and okay, so they don't even say anything else. The first question: what does barrel proof or cask strength mean? What inspired Roaming Man? Heritage of our region to continue a form deeper passion for whiskey. What research goes into the development of a straight rye whiskey? Understanding what impact each grain is going to have on the distillate and how it will react with the barrel. With each, okay, it doesn't even say like age statements or whatever. Okay, so that's very interesting.
Aged at least 4 weeks.
Yeah. There was something someone on it was going through the other day because I follow a lot of different like bourbon and tequila and different whiskey things and stuff on TikTok. And there was someone, they like go into stores and they're like, oh, what's this? And they're just kind of like videotaping themselves do whatever. And one of them, literally a bottle said, I can't remember what it was, but then it was like aged for 24 hours in oak and then like coloring and stuff. I was like, oh my God. He was like, I have never seen this before. Like the guy was like
letting you
just
know.
absolutely dumbfounded. What do you need today? I need a little Sugarland Shine.
Sounds like a good way to start the not start the day.
Authentic award-winning moonshine from the Great Smoky Mountains. Must have been MGB, baby. Original recipe moonshines come in many assorted flavors, some of which feature partnerships with cast members from Discovery's wildly popular Moonshiners television show.
Oh, okay.
And apple pie. Butterscotch Gold. Folds of Honor Sour Blue Raspberry.
Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones sweet tea.
Chipper Jones.
It's the sweet tea. Wait, why are we talking like that?
Chipper Jones.
What's
his
name? Does he talk like that?
No, it was Carey. Skip Carey. Is it Skip Carey? He used to kind of say Chipper Jones.
Oh, okay.
I thought you used to actually do that impression of him.
Close the window, Chipper Jones.
No, not Kermit.
Okay, not Kermit the Frog?
No.
Okay. Jim Tom Hendricks Unaged Rye. Maple Bacon. Ooh, that one's 35%. For moonshine, though, none of these are very high proof. When I think of moonshine, I always think of someone making something out of a tub or a bathroom. And I always assume it's going to be like Everclear. 80 proof. The highest we've got here.
There was one farther up.
100 proof. Is that the high? Was there something higher than
That
100?
was something.
100
Well,
proof.
one, yeah.
Okay, so 50% is the
Jim
highest I
Tom.
get there. Jim Tom Hendricks, or Hedricks. Sorry, I didn't mean Hendricks. Hedricks, unaged rye. Okay. San Diego shine coming. Oh man. Well, this is actually pretty good. I mean, it's better than expected just because it's smooth.
Better
or
than
whatever.
expected. That's right.
Would you buy it again?
Yes. I'm not unhappy. I have another one in the
There's
fridge.
not a caveat of under the right circumstances, or
Well, it's this time of the year, so it's only available for a short period of time. So yeah, I would do that,
Limited
and I'm not
time.
unhappy that I have a second one in the fridge. But I'm really looking forward to the wine.
yeah.
Because in this setting, it's always red wine.
It's always red wine scenes in
That's
here in the
right.
tasting room. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
Are we going to use these same glasses?
Yeah, let's do that.
What do you
Pour
like?
this much in mine, and you can have the rest.
What do you like in a wine glass? I like a Pilsner wine
Yes.
glass. I like something of this size and girth and length.
One of my coworkers, she said that they actually had a wine glass that was big enough to almost pour a full bottle in. I was like, holy crap, that's a big wine glass.
You could with Joe bought something like at somewhere, and it like I can't remember what they're going to use it for, like a potted plant or something like that. But it looks like a actual like something like a snifter, and it's this big. It's like
Remember those
like
what was
ridiculous.
the margaritas at that place in San Diego? Remember those were giant margarita glasses.
well, you can even get
In
like
Old Town San Diego.
if you go to Guadalajara though, those are even pretty. Have you ever had the
No.
You've been to Guadalajara though, right?
Been there, yes.
Okay. Yeah, if you get a margarita there, careful which one you order, because some of them when you order and they're like I get the one that looks like a Game of Thrones goblet, like there's that, or they have like the really tall like ones that like it's the frozen with the different like almost looks like the Mexican flag or whatever. But there's one time I think my wife and my mother-in-law accidentally ordered, and it was like 32 ounces. It was the giant thing. They're like, I did not know it was going to
Wow.
be like this. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's a lot. All right, let's go switch out some glassware.
Yes.
We already actually opened the wine.
We did. It's had a little bit of a chance to begin to breathe.
Was there any reason in particular? Like, did you just feel that
Just
it would
because it's
need
a
it?
red? Yeah.
Okay, just because it's a red.
Well,
in general?
accelerated a little bit the tasting process
So
there.
you put a straw in there and kind of blow it into the
Yeah,
bottle and get some
that's right.
bubbles going, some aeration.
That's right.
Okay, that's the plan then. All right, we'll be right back. All right, so it looks like we have some trigger fire things to do. Apparently, because people just don't understand the rules. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see what we can fix. There was
the
one from
rules.
earlier. We didn't do Robert Loggia from earlier, so we got to fix that one because I don't want to hear
Was it
about
Robert Loggia?
That was definitely earlier at
Robert
some point. So let's do that one.
This is going to be worse than that time I was stuck behind Robert Loggia at the airport.
May I have your name, please?
Robert Loggia.
Can you spell that for me?
Certainly. That's Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my God, it's Robert Loggia. B as in, by God, that's Robert Loggia. E as in, everybody loves Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. T as in Tim, look over there, it's Robert Loggia. Space. L as in look, it's Robert Loggia.
Hopefully Sushi is still here, or I can't remember. That might have been Guardian Down that redeemed that as well, because he's always super nice with that stuff. And then let's fix this one.
Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
There we go. That is a classic as well. Fix. Oh, we almost should have done this one.
Oh yeah.
Since we randomly used Sweet Vermouth earlier, we'll do this one for free. Does it still play?
Sweet vermouth, rocks with a twist, please.
For you, miss?
The same. That's my favorite drink.
Mine, too. It always makes me think of Rome. The way the sun hits the buildings in the afternoon.
Well, what should we drink to?
To the groundhog.
I always drink to world peace.
It's his face right here. That's why this was funny. Right here. The change he has to do.
Always reminds me of Rome. And now I know the way It is in Rome when the sun hits the buildings.
Would you say that that's true?
I didn't really recognize that.
Did you just walk out and you just went, sweet vermouth?
Sweet vermouth. Oh, the Eagles are
someone
take
finally
their
got their
lead.
7 if anybody had 7 points.
Kirk Cousins just fumbled the ball.
Did he?
Yes. He fumbled.
And they say there are no miracles left in the world.
Cousins.
Oh, he was strip sacked.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He was sacked and then he was stripped. Wait, no.
He was stripped naked and devoured.
Yeah. And I won't be.
Kirk Cousins won't be.
And I won't be. I'll be stripped naked and devoured. And I won't be. Oh, yeah. One of my, I don't know if he still has them, but one of my coworkers at an estate sale or something, he bought a big box of
Whiskey.
DVDs.
Oh.
I'm guessing maybe Blu-rays, DVDs. And I guess most of the seasons of Frasier are in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you want any of them?
Why did they not want them?
No, he's like, he offered them because my JJ came back in. He's like, he's got a whole bunch of Frasier in there. I was like, well, my brother might be interested.
If he doesn't want them, I'll take them. I don't have any of them.
Okay.
So if he doesn't want them, I'll take them.
I'll have to ask him about that.
I think Joe has all of them.
Okay.
He had never seen the episode. I was starting to reference the other week with my favorite line from Frasier, which is the one where he's like, I had a craftsman make this thing. He's like, I tracked down the person that made the fabric. And when I got them to admit that they had made it, I had them reweave it for me. And I was starting to tell him, and he's like, I don't think I've ever seen it.
That's the one with the chair.
He had never seen it.
Oh, wow.
He literally had somehow never seen that one. I was like,
the balcony.
It was after the game last week. I was like, we have to watch this episode. Right? I'm like, I'm not going to explain it to you. You just need to watch it. And it was just, because that's also the one with their learning piano. And Daphne's taken 8 years worth of lessons and she still can't do like a chord. And like Roz sits down and like does it or whatever.
Is that the one with where the reason they have everything on the balcony is because of the stain on the...
Because he was trying to fix the squeak.
And the different color?
Yeah.
They discovered a different color. I know
buff.
I know Baker eyes like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she was watching it with us too. Yeah, because it's like autumn wheat, buff.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, and then he's like, that's going to take a little bit to get used to. But yeah, that was a good one. Actually, wasn't that a spin-off from Maude?
Yeah. Somehow. Conrad Bain. Let's see. Wait, maybe Different Strokes was a spin-off from Maude as well.
Wait, go on.
No, it wasn't.
What you talking about, Willis?
Conrad Bain. Yeah, no. Conrad Bain was in Maude, but I don't think it was his character that was.
Oh, wait. Is there a tie in there? Maybe Silver Spoons?
That's Ricky Schroeder. And yeah, I don't think there's any tie out there.
Nothing there. No one wants to lay claim to that show.
No, nothing there.
Temporarily.
Cheers. So we went through the Cheers ones, right? Yeah.
Cheers was just the Tortellis and Frasier, right?
Yeah. Kirstie Alley, but that was later. Veronica's Closet.
But then that wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
It's got to tie directly to the show.
Yeah. But then anything spin off from Frasier? No, I don't think so. No, okay. No. It ends there.
I heard, does the Frasier reboot thing start soon? Did I hear that?
I read something about that. Should be, but I don't think anybody's in it except him. John Mahoney's not in it.
Yeah, because it's it's going to be him and his relationship with his older son now or something like that. It's going to be something
but
there.
I don't think
they couldn't get John Mahoney for it? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. He was unavailable. Roz isn't in it. I don't think Daphne's in it. And
I thought they had reached out supposedly, but
probably. But they're all like,
that seems like a terrible idea.
That
seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't even imagine what that show would be for it to be any kind of good. Like with how good the actual other show ended, and like
it would have to have the same cast, except for to me.
That's what I would think.
Exploring their lives now, but yeah.
And does that even work though?
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be done.
Yeah, no, I don't think it needs to be done at all. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know.
Although it is kind of frightening though at this point. Like I'm actually older than Frasier now in a lot of those episodes, which is just, I never thought that would come to that time. But it has gotten there because like a few times he's referenced like being like 43 or 44. I'm like, oh God.
Oh no.
Dear God, no. Brothers, how's it going? Good to see you. 27-7 Eagles over Vikings now.
Wait. Something must happen.
Something else must have just happened because we're at 20-7 right now.
Oh my God! Is there a pick six?
Oh God! Please let there be a pick six.
You know what? You want Kirk Cousins to be throwing touchdowns to your receiver.
No,
he's your number one pick. There's
this
gotta
helps
be
to offset. There has
be
to be a pick six right here.
Oh my! If this is, are we that far behind?
We can't be that far behind. Maybe we are.
Oh, maybe there's a punt return or something. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
look,
it does show
we
that
are.
live is up here. Oh,
We are a little bit behind.
how can I unavailable? Okay, so now we're technically
Now we're
live.
live.
63-yard passing touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All righty then.
I don't know how that happened.
How did we fall back? Oh, there was a time that was on a screen.
Oh, it was paused.
for
I had to
quite a
pause it.
while. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. No, we were just grossly behind. We're caught up now.
Disgustingly behind.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely disgustingly behind.
I think I'm going to put some money down on the Eagles right now.
I think I'll start a paper route right now.
What if you could put? So if you put down like what, $1,000 right now on the Eagles, what do you win? Like 100 or something?
You'd win like $5.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you could do
It's
it
not
at this
even
point,
worth it.
this late in the game. I forget how that stuff
I'm
works.
sure it's probably ridiculously bad odds, but
Yeah.
all right.
Do you have an opener for this? Do you have anything you want to say, or is it just
Let's be frank. No, I don't have anything.
Was this in the Fearless Flyer?
It is, and the Fearless Flyer just dropped Tuesday, which is weird. Usually they drop Monday, but I don't know if maybe because Monday was 9/11, they didn't. I don't know.
What?
At least at the time of the recording of this specific podcast, the flyer has landed.
The fat man walks alone.
The Eagles have not landed.
The Eagles have not landed, yeah.
And the flyer walks alone.
Pussycat. Where are you now?
Where have you been?
Normally, when I see the word Cabernet,
Yeah,
I do not think Franc.
true. Normally, yeah, the Sauvignon follows that.
That's the word I look for.
For the most part.
I'm not against any other version of it, any other form or whatever else. That's usually the one I wind up seeing. But apparently the Fearless Flyer from Trader Joe's feels I need a little bit of an education and some other grape varietal options, I would say.
Yes.
Okay. This, at least as of the recording of this just dropped fairly recently, correct?
Yes, just a couple days ago.
Okay.
So hopefully by the time this podcast goes up, 4 or 5 days from now, we'll be mid-flyer still.
Okay.
Should be available at your neighborhood Trader Joe's.
How quickly does this stuff usually sell out, depending on obviously it probably varies, I guess, depending on
it depends
the
on
excitement, the enthusiasm.
Those things, the quantity that we started with originally, but they can go pretty quickly. But we've got quite a bit at the store right now, so should be all right.
It should be all right. Well, we'll find out how all right it actually is for this. Give it a shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we are about today is the Trader Joe's Petit Reserve Cabernet Franc Paso Robles 2021.
Ooh.
A lot to
Do you
say.
need a minute there? Since it is in the Fearless Flyer, I have already seen what the price is. Do you know what the price is?
I do know what the price is. Gosh, I would hope so.
But we will hold it back for right now, currently for anybody that is watching that does not know. I really don't know where I want to go with anything else there.
Not too much else to say. Petit Reserve is kind of like the more entry level of our reserve line.
Okay.
Those prices
It's petite.
are well, they're going to be less than $9.99, which is our reserve. Grand Reserve $12.99, and then so on and so forth on up. So it's going to be less than that. But I've heard good things.
That was actually what I was going to ask.
Not tried
have you
it.
heard anything good about
I
this?
have heard good things
Okay.
from a very reliable source. But I have yet to try this, as outside the tasting room for me right now, it is not red wine season.
Yeah,
But inside the tasting room, it can always be a very comfortable red wine drinking temperature.
Yeah, thankfully cool enough in here. That is good to hear that at least it is getting some discussion.
Yeah.
The last one we had from the Fearless Flyer was a little bit of a letdown for us. I
Yeah,
would say.
it was.
That was not near as well received, at least not by the two of us. I don't know how well it did sales wise.
No, it's not. There's actually still quite a bit of that. It did not go nearly as well. It was, especially, at that price point, there were certainly other Zinfandels I would have recommended. So, that was a little bit of a letdown, but I have heard good things about this.
That's one of the ones we've kind of had the most experience with, at least for me, podcasting wise, is Zinfandel. We do a lot of different Zinfandels.
Yep.
We did a whole wonderful tasting, which is probably one of my favorite. Like someone was asking the other day, what one of my favorite podcast episodes were. And obviously we've had some where we just, a lot of laughter and just everything kind of blends together and is awesome. But that one in particular, where we tried, the 3 different Zinfandels, got to compare all from the same winery.
From the OZV?
Yeah, from the OZV up to, like I said, because of, like I said, again, a wonderful person that's always here in chat, HJ, that we got to do that. That was probably, it still ranks as one of my favorites of all time, just because just getting that firsthand knowledge of, what a grape, tastes like and what those different levels are all from one vineyard was super, super cool.
But this is from Paso Robles, which is a really good grape growing or wine making area, and
It Paso's the test.
We'll find out.
Okay, should we go to the aroma then?
Yeah.
Completely random side note. I find it hilarious. There's all these websites and podcasts and stuff that are affiliated with, like, DraftKings and all the sports books and all that stuff. The amount of like warnings and it's almost like a doctor's pill, like that they're giving there. Like, it's like, oh man, if you've got indigestion, there's like, well, there could be all these side effects. The gambling stuff they have to read that, like, hey, if you've got a gambling addiction, here's this number. And I don't know if it's a regional thing too, but like I listen to a lot of podcasts out of Chicago for the Bears, obviously. They have to read like 9 different states' phone numbers, like as they're as they're doing their little ad at the end, like, and if you're in New York, call 877-94326, and if you're in this number, call it. And I'm just like, oh my god! And I've even heard that in some of the ads, like on XM radio, they'll mention like 3 or 4. And I'm like, I don't know if it's like more direct lines or they requested that because of what they're stating. But yeah, it's like, to me, it's fascinating. It's like,
well, certainly, like anything, it can be fun, but it can also be life altering.
Oh, completely
in
agree.
a bad way for people. So.
They got sued, I bet.
Yeah.
I see what you did there, Sushi. I see what you did there. I bet they got sued. But yeah, it's like the amount of stuff that they... Did you do that on purpose, or did I just pick up on that? You be honest now. Sushi, we're friends. You tell me.
She threw the softball, and you popped it in there. Oh, okay.
No, that was too good. I just like these replays of Kirk Cousins fumbling the football. It's nice.
Yeah, but he just threw a touchdown now.
Damn it.
I'm glad we're caught up.
Was it to Jefferson?
No, I don't think it was.
Well, then I'm not happy. But yeah, I think that stuff is, like I said, it's interesting. All the, like I said, the legal disclaimers. That was the word I was looking for a minute ago.
This is 21. Oh, wow. Huh. Well, it's supposed to be a 21. At least that's what is in the flyer.
Interesting. Huh. Heard back, Henry only nibbled at his food today. Positive thoughts, please. All right, Sushi. Did they take him off the steroid, though? Because I know you were saying because of the steroids, that's why he was eating so much more. So that was like kind of good and bad at the same time.
I didn't realize that was I wonder if I'll have to look at the store tomorrow.
Everything else matched, so I didn't even pay attention.
No, I wouldn't have. I would have just thought that was the same thing. So I'll take a look and make sure. And we do know there can be a difference, but hopefully it won't be too much of a difference. So
that probably just kind of coincides then again. Maybe it'll just take like a day to kind of get that, the appetite going back again without that other, like the steroid being there. But we'll think good thoughts, Sushi, for sure. All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Look you had there. I was like,
I'm trying to
you're
figure out what that is. God, I hope I wasn't like that.
A little bit.
Please edit that out if it was.
All right, that's why I was like, do you want to sniff again?
Let's if that's what it was, we got to come out
You
of that
came back
better
and
than
you're
that.
I'll be honest, it was kind of like this. You kind of did something. I was like, what the
I
hell?
was probably like mid-yawn.
That could be.
Okay.
Am I boring you? I'm boring myself. I'm a little tired. I'm glad we had this open for a little while before, like I said, we actually went to the tasting. Like I said, we had this probably for half hour, 45 minutes, something like that. Which I know we didn't decant it or anything, but at least got a little oxygen to it. Because the alcohol is still kind of coming through. At least for me. There's some good jammy notes, some black currant, some raspberry, maybe a little bit of cherry. But I looked at the alcohol. It's over 14%.
Okay.
So that was kind of surprising. The other thing we also noticed randomly was that the bottle we have is 2022. So I don't know if the flyer is in error in some way or the graphic or something like that. But anyway, so in case you do go looking for it, depending on what our review is, the one we are reviewing is the 2022.
And I will check. I'll check our supply at work. Maybe maybe we have both and just grabbed, or maybe the flyer is wrong. So we'll
make sure they charge you the right price.
Figure that
this
out.
one was like $40.
Yeah. It's vintage.
It's vintage. What are you thinking aroma wise?
Pretty much everything you said, and maybe just like some sort of lower note, like plum or something like that too.
Oh,
But yeah, pretty much everything you said, I concur.
Okay. To the taste?
Yes.
All right. Yep. Figure out to get a head start on the positive. Of course, sushi, 100%. Yep. For sure. Kind of reminds me of like a French Bordeaux, like something they would put in there. Oh. I should just start poaching from stuff they wrote.
Yes.
Sound ridiculously intelligent.
But it's 2021.
Seems like a year.
I don't think this is the right year. Yeah. Can you check the label on that? Oh, you're right.
That would
It's
be
not.
great. We should have set all that up.
Yeah.
And you say that, I'm like,
I don't.
my God,
that's
Keith.
not matching. I just don't think
this flavor profile is not matching what I expected.
it's similar, but this kind of reminds me of the extra rain that they got in that area last year.
Oh man! And here I am having a snack size Mounds bar for dinner. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a snack size Mounds bar, but that should not be dinner though. That should be like some sort of amuse bouche, something like your lead into dinner. Sushi, what are you actually going to get for dinner?
Do I amuse you?
You've got to have something for dinner. Do you ever eat like weird things for breakfast? Like usually I have like breakfast like foods and stuff like that. And then every once in a while it's like, oh, we're 2 days out from where we go to Costco or the store or whatever. So it's like I don't have my breakfast sandwich or have like cereal or whatever.
No, I don't.
So then all of a sudden I'll be like, well, what do I got? So then like usually I wind up like the other day I made basically like a cheese crisp. So I had like tortilla and some cheese, and then I had some ham. So I put some ham on there, and then I had a little bit of lettuce and kind of made like. But again, I'm eating this at like 7:30 in the morning.
But that's not necessarily. I mean, you could look at that as sort of omelet meets breakfast burrito.
That's true.
But
that's
yeah,
true.
I mean,
maybe
I
that's
guess,
not quite that weird.
I mean, like, I used to eat like cold pizza or cold enchiladas. It used to be like, especially like when I lived at home years ago. Baker
cold pizza for sure.
Had the enchilada. I would eat cold enchiladas. Those were always good.
Oh,
but lately, no. Probably I like some avocado toast for breakfast.
So what is it with avocado toast? Is it literally just avocado on toast? I hear people say that. I'm like, okay, what is this ridiculous?
So for me, what I do with avocado toast, and I kind of stumbled across this recently, that I used a baguette actually, and I put it in our air fryer, which also is kind of like a toaster oven, and it gets it just crisp enough where it's not painful to eat. And so it provides a little bit of crisp texture, but it's soft enough. And then you just take an avocado and you just like do a rough mash, like with a fork, and then you spread that on there. And then I take the Trader Joe's everything but the bagel seasoning.
Oh, now we're talking.
Sprinkle that on there, and then just put some tomatoes on the top.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
It is.
Okay.
It is delicious.
I don't know why that's turned into such a thing. Like
I don't know. I hear
so you go like, I had some avocado toast.
Yeah,
like,
and I think it kind of became like a, maybe the semi
trendy,
hipster,
little hipster trendy
sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But it is very good. And you don't have to do it with the French bread. Just I happen to have some
that sounds really good though,
and it worked out. But I've done it on sourdough bread, and there's different versions. Like if you go to like Beyond Bread has a version. I think they put some like arugula on top of theirs, and it's a little different. So, but that's what I like. I think it's just very
bougie. There you go.
Bougie.
There you go. It's very bougie.
But
cold pizza is the shit. I do love some cold pizza. I like keeping.
But
it up
no,
a little
normally
bit
for
too.
me it's just cereal or piece of toast.
It's only when I'm out of stuff. Also, I'm
Oatmeal.
like, what can I put together? Because I need to eat something.
Yeah.
Like I need to have something.
Yeah.
I need to, nothing like a good breakfast burrito. I guess that almost is like a burrito then. I guess that's not super weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like the goofiest thing I've ever, like, when I was like, I need to eat something. Like, I guess that sounds pretty good. And I could throw something together. Sister asked my opinion for the Mount Rushmore of NASCAR racers, and I told her Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Richard Petty, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. I did not know Jimmy Johnson, the football coach, actually did any NASCAR racing. That's shocking. Also, a Mount Rushmore of NASCAR, I think the biggest thing with that is that you'd have nobody on there because it's not a sport.
Well, they're not saying it's a sport. They're saying
Can't put people
NASCAR.
up there. It's got to be something.
Ricky Bobby.
Got to have people that actually have a talent, though.
Turn left.
That's right.
And then turn left again.
That's right. Sweat as you're in this motion right here.
We have a couple Ricky Bobbies. For,
Ricky Bobby. That's
yeah.
right. Well,
You
could we
taste
say,
like
how about
America.
the crepe? What is it, a thin pancake? Oh, I like crepes. Oh, okay. He
Shake and
breaks
bake.
his arm. Oh, God, so gross.
Oh, God, yeah.
I hate that part.
You ain't first, you're
Shake and
last.
bake. Ricky Bobby, that is true. Ricky Bobby, he is an athlete of all kinds, for sure. I'm on fire. Don't you put that bad juju on me, Ricky Bobby. What's it? It's sitting on the pole, and that is a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Not like, I remember watching like the Daytona 500 a couple years in a row, like when it was on. I was like, oh. I think I would just appreciate if I was actually going to watch like racing, which again I was making a joke. I think I would rather watch like F1. I would rather watch like actual like that kind of speed, and curves and all that.
Yeah.
I think F1 to me is more interesting when I have watched that. I sense new channel point redemption. We should. I do need. I've started making another small list again. I need to put some stuff up. Trigger Fire like works okay enough. I guess I'll get back in its good graces and put up a couple new things. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
You sure?
Yeah.
You got it? Okay.
No, don't do that, I guess. Not like vomit. I went,
Oh yeah, not like that. I thought you were I thought you were a little low with your I see you.
it's your eyes, your nose, your mouth. Yeah. It's thinner than I was thinking it was going to be. It's lighter, but not light. It's got some nice fruit, nice flavor. It's not super dry. To me, it's not super dry. It's dry, but not super dry. But it's got some nice fruit to it and kind of easy to drink, actually.
I would agree that it's easy drinking. After reading, like I said, from the Fearless Flyer and Trader Joe's website, where it talked about Bordeaux. I don't want to make it seem like I thought about, but then in thinking about that, then I was not surprised about how light it was, because that's usually kind of what I think of that region sometimes. To me, it is a little on the drier side. I don't know, like it seems like when I take a sip, like everything kind of goes dry. It doesn't stay that way for very long, but it's a little.
That's what I mean.
It's a little like not astringent's too far, but it's definitely a little dry. But yeah, for the most part, it's easy drinking. The fruit is still there. I wish the fruit popped like a little bit more, because I think the aroma is fairly nice as it's kind of sat here in the glass like a little bit more. But yeah, overall it's good. I mean, it's did we mention the price there? I don't know if we did.
No, $7.99.
$7.99. So $8. Like I said, I think it's definitely worth a try for, like I said, for people. This is a varietal you're not familiar with, want to get into it a little bit, maybe see if this is something.
Not a lot of tannin or anything like that, so it's not super heavy.
Definitely not. Yeah, the finish is very, like I said, is very enjoyable. Do you have a lot of versions of like Cab Franc there?
We don't really get a lot of Cab Francs.
I was wondering if this is something where like, oh, you should pick up this bottle and then also try one of these other, like, is there like even another option or two?
No, we used to have one. It was called Lazy Bones. It was a Cab Franc we carried we carried every year.
At least around Halloween for sure.
Yeah. And that was pretty good, but that usually had like 20 or 30% of something else. I don't know if this is blended or what this is blended with. I would guess it's not probably 100%. But no, it's not a grape we have a lot of offerings of. So
it also not a lot of offerings of are this varietal on our website at aboutbeverages.com.
Correct.
We've done a lot of wines over the years, things from the Fearless Flyer, things from Trader Joe's, things from all over. But yeah, not a lot of this varietal in particular. So if there are other ones that we should look for, or if you've had this one when this podcast winds up going up on YouTube and you're like, oh, hey, I've had that one. You know what? You guys should really try this one instead, or this is more of a better representation of that style. Let us know, please, down in the comments. Like I said, we're always willing to try it. Like I said, we have had a lot of people make suggestions here in chat. And surprisingly, we reach out and we actually go look for those things. If we can find them, we like trying them because that is always super fun. Can also be nerve-wracking, though, too. Because sometimes then the viewer is like, oh, God, I hope they like it. But it's fine. If we do, we don't. Yeah, we appreciate the suggestion no matter what. And like I said, if you also want to comment and are subscribed up on YouTube, that is another great place to see all of our latest videos. You can find out when any of our stuff goes live. If you do hit the subscribe button, we would greatly appreciate that. If you only want audio, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Spotify are the ways to go for that as of right now. If you have a favorite podcasting app, just search for About Beverages. We will probably be there. And while you're doing that search, some other things are going to come up in that list too. Probably some social media kind of stuff.
Stumbling across the 3 pillars of social media.
It's true. Stumbling Towards Ecstasy, which I think is an album by Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Okay.
Random note.
And no, that's true. That was good. I forgot who that was. I'm glad you pulled that out. For us, the 3 pillars of social media are TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Twitter.
I think we are really going to be proven true.
Okay.
When it all comes back to just being called Twitter again,
okay,
which it really hasn't not been called Twitter.
I don't. It just
they'll
throws
go
me.
look at these videos from 2 years ago, like, oh, they still said Twitter back then.
Yeah. So anyway, but and that's the one that we use the most often to keep you up to date with what is going on here at About Beverages. Like earlier this evening when I tweeted that we were about to go live on twitch.tv/AboutBeverages, which we do most Thursday evenings around 5:30 Pacific time. It's when we get together, try different beverages,
shocking,
hang out, have some fun, chat. Also throughout the week, Andrew's going to keep you up to date on what he is doing in the gaming world and what beverages he will have in hand at his side as he's doing those. So for all the latest at About Beverages, follow us on Twitter.
But as we always say, whether we like it or not,
you should give it a Franc shot.
And that is a podcast. That be a podcast.
A Franc shot.
A Franc shot. Franc fries.
Franc dressing. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even notice the year on that until I'll have to look at that tomorrow at the store, see if we have others.
2022.
And I went to the
Cellared
link I sent
and
you.
Bottled by Miller Family Wine Company.
Miller.
Who's that?
I don't know. Steve Miller?
Ian Miller.
Roger Miller? Steve Miller?
Yeah.
The Steve Miller Band. This
Did you
wine
read
will
the back of
fly
this?
like an eagle. No.
The first thing on here is notes of plum.
Really?
This man here pulling plum out of his plum.
I did not read that.
Blackberry with a hint of black cherry.
Okay.
I was almost going to say that, and then I didn't.
What?
Black cherry, mocha. And I was going to say a little bit of chocolate.
Okay.
And a touch of oak. I don't know if I really got the oak. Per se.
Yeah, I don't really get the oak either.
But yeah, that'd be the only thing for me. Like, it'll be interesting to see, like, tomorrow or something, if there's like a little, that dryness kind of maybe dissipates.
Tomorrow,
like
as you game?
Probably, I'll probably wind up having
probably
Let's see how that goes.
See, now that's different for breakfast.
That would be different for breakfast. Orca, great podcast. Thank you, Orca. I appreciate that. Thank you to everybody hanging out here this evening.
Trailers for sale or rent. Rooms to let 50 cents. No phone. No pool. No pets.
Ain't got no cigarettes,
but
something
2 hours
that's
of
right.
pushing broom buys a 8 by 12 4-bedroom. I'm a man of means by no means.
King of the road. What do you think of when you hear that song?
What do I think of?
Yeah.
good song. Roger Miller.
Well, that's pushing it.
I like it. I think it's fun. Yeah, I like it.
I think
is
of
it from something?
No, it's not from something. Well, not maybe. I think of the Super Dave Osborne bit.
King of the Road?
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
I don't think I have.
It's him. He's sitting on top of a train with a piano, and he's playing and he's singing that song.
Oh, and then he goes under the like he's sitting on a
yeah. I can't remember what it's.
my
I think
God,
it's.
is that
I think
from
it's.
that?
I think it's the end of one of his shows or something like that, and he's like doing his like little thing, and he's sitting in the.
And they go through the bridge.
Yeah, they go to hit the bridge,
tunnel.
and literally he just smacks into the thing.
I've
yeah.
seen that actually.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't know that was the song he's singing.
Yeah, because he's like singing it, and then
Okay.
he's like, I can't remember. Like he just happens to mention something right as they're about to go in, and they just smack into the side
Oh, Super Dave Osborne. Yes.
there. 8 between 4 men.
I'm a
Man,
I still remember, I remember sitting on top of the playing the piano.
Uh-huh,
That's
that's
that
the song
song.
he's doing.
Okay. All right. Gotta get some new E.
Get some what?
Some new E from Modern Romance, where Albert Brooks goes in to see it's his brother, obviously, but he's not Super Dave there.
Oh yeah,
And he
yeah.
buys
goes,
the jogging
well, that's
suit
the jogging.
and the
He's like,
shoes. Yeah.
oh, you're not
Yeah.
really into it. That's,
Go ahead, get the box.
The movie's so good. Oh, that's a great one.
Oh, Subtempo.
There are no-win situations. Vietnam.
This. You've heard of them. They're out there.
They're out there. Oh man, I don't think that's a movie anybody knows anymore. Like that's Albert Brooks in general. I feel bad.
I know the code, sir.
You know nothing.
Yeah, you know nothing.
Yeah, because isn't he like a sound like
Yeah,
yeah.
And they use like the Incredible Hulk footsteps.
It's like guys like
No,
walking.
don't use that
Yeah,
one.
no.
I think that actually that's kind of cool though. That actually show that sort of.
That's how it works though. Like
Working,
ADR
yeah.
stuff. Have you ever seen
Yeah.
that?
Yep.
All right, so no podcast next week.
Nothing next week.
Because you're having to rip things out of
relocate furniture,
label
and,
things.
Yeah,
and move
label.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, relocate furniture.
Well,
how big is this building?
We've got to move that. What's there, we have to move.
Oh, okay.
And so that's
what
going
are you doing with that?
Somewhere. That's going into the bedroom.
Okay.
So then what's in the bedroom has to go somewhere.
So where's that going?
I think next to the bed. I don't know. That's the thing. It's you have to go to the end thing and okay, where's that piece going that you're getting rid of?
That's going
it's like
somewhere.
a domino backtrack
That's
effect. Then you have to figure out okay, where else? Yeah. And then this is going here, and then that's going there. Yeah, it's going to be a whole scene, man.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So it'll be
okay.
Busy relocating.
So you don't really have a plan for the rest of it.
A general Pocket has a plan.
I mean, you could make 2 rooms out of your bedroom, so you could like.
But you could actually, yeah. Well, which we have. It's our office and it's our bedroom, and then there'll be the lounge area. Then and so
when she's in the middle of a meeting, people to see you getting up and like kind of scratching yourself and walking to the bathroom and stuff.
Well, no, I don't do that.
Oh, okay. I shouldn't have turned on my camera this morning. Okay, so you have a mile plan for where that's.
Yes, there is a plan.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that chair having to move out of the corner?
The chair, the leather chair?
No.
In the corner of the front room, you mean?
By your TV area, like the one on the right.
Yeah, that's eventually gonna wind up in the bedroom.
Oh, okay.
For now, though, it'll just be out. Yeah, it'll probably just move out a little bit. It'll probably be hiding the
Did
subwoofer.
you order your subwoofer yet?
No, for now I'm just going to use the existing.
See how it looks. See if are you gonna some fingers crossed.
If if it probably won't work, but at least for now we can save a little bit of money and not order another subwoofer.
That's true.
So unless that other one, maybe that one will go on sale. Who knows?
So in a couple weeks though, when we get back together, we were talking about possibly pumpkin beers,
something pumpkin-y.
I think that drink would be fun that you sent over to me because it was kind of definitely a fall Oktoberfest kind of drink. So we just
have the
basically
Trader
need
Joe's
apple
spice
cider.
I could get that.
Need some spice cider. We've got the rye whiskey.
Okay.
I have at least 2 out of the 3 bitters that are in there. Like I said, I'll have to look
That's
what the other
probably
one
all
is.
we need.
I mean, if I can find the other one, I'm not against buying some more bitters.
Okay.
The other one I need to look for though, like a lot of people in their recipes lately have been using black walnut bitters.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that come up in a recipe?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And I'm always like, find this one, I guess. I
know Total Wine has some of those.
I'm sure one will go on sale tomorrow
somewhere.
Yeah. Total Wine. Yeah, that was where I got a couple of the ones was at Total Wine. And but I remember looking for that one because I remember saying seeing someone talk about, they're like, I just made an old fashioned with black walnut and it's the best thing. And they like literally called out that one specifically. So I'm going to have to search for that one. There's not many, only there was a company that actually did like a subscription thing for bitters. So you could try different things.
Maybe
Like that's
is.
something that I feel should happen. But yeah, like I said, I will definitely look for that. So that'll be the plan for in a couple weeks.
Yep.
But until then, we're going to go say hi to Sammy Cat. She is doing some Destiny. She is doing the GM right now. She likes doing things in Destiny the most difficult way possible.
Okay.
So this is one of the more difficult things you can do. This is normally a 3-person activity. She's doing it solo, which on one level, a lot of people do that. She's doing it with no HUD, so she has no idea when her abilities are back up, what weapons she has reloaded, anything else. So she can't. So no HUD, and then she does this one. Usually, like I said, goes for the flawless, obviously. So that should be super interesting. But yeah, she is always super fun and enjoyable. So let's go say hi to her. Planty, it was good to see you. Good night to everybody. Good night to everybody that came in. Appreciate you all
thank
being
you for
here.
being here.
Hopefully you guys had a good evening, and we'll be back once again in a couple weeks. Some more beverage podcasting fun. If I can find all the buttons. There it is. I found it. Oh my God, it actually hit the button. Perfect.
All right. Good night, everyone. See you soon.
Good night.
See you tomorrow.